Okay, good morning. It's Sunday the 17th or whatever, January 16th probably. 17th, I don't remember. But this is kind of the state of things at the moment. I figure I'd give a nice little overview. We've got our body flush trimmed. I still have cleanup on the sides to do and the binding rabbet. And then final sanding on the top and all that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of at the point where the neck pocket has been cut out. And we've got a fretboard that's a little long on either end. There's a little room here and there's an extra fret here. And then we've got our neck with the truss rod set in fact, quite beautifully, I might say. With a good access hole as well. So I think I'm going to hold off on putting the fretboard on the neck until I've got the neck mostly shaped. But I kind of need to, I cut the length of this quite a bit oversized, and I kind of need to get that cut to where it needs to be, to where it's going to go. And then I'll also need to start cutting the tenon for the neck to go into the set in the body. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to set this one aside. I think I'll set this aside because I've got my pattern here and it's pretty damn near on, because the neck, the fretboard will stop right about there on the body, about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more short of the pickup pocket. And so that means that the bottom, the end of this will go in a little further because the neck pocket goes up underneath the pickup. So that means if this is an accurate length, which I think it is, I'm pretty certain that it is. That's an accurate length. That means the fingerboard will end right about there. And that means we can do that end. That means we're going to have about 1 inch extra here that gets notched down for the pickup. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this thing so that the end of it is on the line of zero, and just lop it off at the end here, I think is all I'm going to do. Let's double check to make sure we don't cut too short. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. We'll lop that off at the end. And then we can start rough shaping the tenon for the neck. I think that's what we're going to do next today. As soon as I stop being a chicken about it. Just need to make sure I'm doing what I need to do, the right timing. Sometimes it's all about order of operations. I think that'll work. We're going to get the neck set today. Today is neck setting. That's the plan. Okay, I've got a square. I've got my template. I'm just going to kind of roughly mark this based on the curve that's happening in the corner where the angle of this begins. Just put it up here where it actually begins on the side. And then we're just going to put our square across here, right there, and that is where my end is. But I'm going to go the other direction here. Hold up. Have my pencil ready. I can leave it just a tiny bit long here, just in case. Got 1/16 extra there. This is where being a righty would be handy. But I think we got it now. That's going to be the ending of it. So we'll set it up on its... I'm going to have to set it like this. Okay, so we're going to pop the truss rod out here. Just to have that out of the way. And I think I'm going to do I'm going to have to wrap it around a couple of times, I think. Don't think I'm going to be able to saw it otherwise. Need it to lay flat. Okay. that same reference face. And this is just a double check. I'm wrapping it around on both sides because I want to double check that it lined up, and it did very perfectly, so that's good. That means my edges are parallel enough that it's going to work okay there. So that means I'm going to lop the end of this off. That means that's as long as my neck's going to be right there. I think that's okay. That's what we need. So I'm going to jump this over to the miter saw because it's the fastest way I know to do this. And we're still well over width here. We're going to have to rough cut this to width anyhow. So I'm going to lop that end off. Okay, we're over at the miter saw. Set this down here on it. I don't need to stop. Put that down the down table. And that's going to be a problem. I can't put that there. It means I need to space it out a little bit. So we're going to grab a hunk of plywood. Actually, this board will do really well, I think, if it's not too long. It's too long. But I have a short piece I can use right here that's pretty flat. That'll do right there. Okay, so we're just spacing it out because I have this lump here from the wings that I put on. This is one of those moments where I should have put those on at the end after things were pretty close to size. Lesson learned, though. Okay, that's just barely short enough, that fence board of mine here. Okay, a little noisy, little ears, a little dusty. Let me get some of this crap out of my way here. Now we've got a little extra chunk of mahogany, and that is our length. That better be our length, huh? No room for that screwing up. Okay, back to the bench we go. So at this point, yeah, I think we are at the point where I need to determine my widths by these, and then measure and transfer those lines to the back side. Still not entirely certain how I'm going to handle my top, this part, the headstock side. I'm wondering if I'm going to need to oh, what am I trying to say? I'm wondering if I'm going to need to fix this end first so that it sets straight, and I can use, because I'd like to cut the headstock shape vertical from this face. I would like to see this and cut straight down. Okay, so I just kind of threw together a quick little chunk of this is scrap particle board and scrap MDF. I put a little notch in it to make a little sort of cradle. So this way, I think we're pretty close to pretty near level here. This way, we just set this on here. And then I can drive a nail in here because this area is getting cut away anyhow. So I'm going to put a nail in right here to keep everything in place. Okay. I'm going to leave it a little long so that I can pull it out. But now you'll see we've kind of got this cradle so that if it's on the bandsaw, well, so the theory is now this holds the neck upright, and I can be way back here and cut all the way across. I'll have to raise the guides just a little bit, and I can cut way down to here without risking the neck twisting or toppling over on me. What I think I might want to do, because I'm going to have to cut the end of this. What I think I'm going to do, this may or may not work very well. The trouble is in the end, since that's support, I'm going to be cutting the support away. I need to be sure I'm careful about keeping it supported after it's been cut away. What I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to shim it. Put a shim right in here somewhere. Alright, now we have a decent foundation. Now I'm no longer relying on the end. I've got a good sized shim down in there. That'll hold it nice and sturdy. I'm going to take some spray glue and adhere my headstock template to this, because I might as well get that cut to rough shape as well. Alright, we are now covered in spray glue here. I hope that's spray glue right there. Doesn't feel sticky yet, but I'm going to slide it on here because I'm using that repositionable stuff. Put the centers together here. And now we have my drilling template and my sawing. I think I've just thought of something I need to do first, though. I'm going to pop this off because I realized just now that the back of my headstock, this shape, is not flat, and it's going to be easier to flatten if I have a nice flat surface, parallel sides like this. So I'm gonna change my plans here for a second, and we'll bring you back. So now I've got my headstock, or my neck in a vise. My neck's in a vise, and I'm gonna set this thickness to match what's on my template here. Just gonna set a my squares blade to match that thickness. And now I can use the flat front reference because I've planed that nice and smooth and flat, and I can just mark where it's got to stop. Okay. I'm leaving this little lump here to make a volute. I forget, I think he calls it a volute. Harrison calls it a volute. Harrison's my luthiery instructor guy. Nice guy. I think that's what he calls it, as a volute. It's when you're playing, you have this stop, this little positive lump back here that tells you, hey, this is where the neck runs out. So I'm going to leave that in there, leave enough stock to make that in there. But I'm just going to get this flat. So now I've got the neck back on this little cradle. It's changed shape a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. We'll see. We'll find out. So I just marked, I took the fretboard and I marked its width here and here. And now I'm going to connect those lines, connect those marks with some lines. And I'm deliberately going oversized because I want to bring the neck up. I want to bring the neck to the fretboard when it's on, so I'm saving myself a little bit of room of mahogany, of neck material, so that I can do that. And this is just my neck roughing size. And we'll slice it off at that point. And there's the taper of the neck right there. So the next step, that worked pretty good to get that fairly centered. It's pretty good. So the next step is to cut along those lines. Along this way, follow the headstock shape a little, do the same this way, and cut out ourselves a neck shape. Okay, we're set up now to rough out our neck shape. I'm going to move some stuff a little more here. This is a significant cut. And I'm going to cut a little outside of the lines, and then I'll shape nearer to it after all is said and done. Yeah, we're ready to give this little bugger a go, I think. Okay, so hearing protection, dust collection, cutting action, doesn't rhyme, whatever. All right, now the next thing is I'm going to lay out for the tenon, and the tenon is 1.5 inches wide. So to center it, you'd put it at the 3/4 inch mark, and I just have to get in a position where I can see that center line really, really well. All right, well, so we've cut our neck's tenon rough to size. I don't have the notch here yet because it's just a notch where the pickup goes. But I need to make sure I didn't cut too long or didn't cut too much out. And I did not, it didn't fit anywhere, which is perfect. And the depth looks usable. And so I am ready now for the rough, or for the fine shaping of this. This whole area needs to get shaped. All right, so we've got the neck up in the vise. I've marked a line straight across that's square with the face of the neck where the fretboard's going to lie. I've got a knife line. I'm just pairing it up with the chisel, and I'm using a small chisel because it's easier to push through all this end grain. That's a lie. The reason I'm using the smaller chisel is it's sharper than my bigger chisel, and I'm too lazy to go sharpen. Alright, so went in, had some lunch, pondered a little bit about how to deal with so what happened is the sides are longer than the block on the center, and I need to make that a good flush surface. Okay, so we're close enough now that it's almost perfectly flush. I just want to make sure that we keep everything aligned. I'm just trying different tools to see which one's going to get me where I want to be. This is very much a novice, not knowing well what I'm doing, so definitely leave some comments in the video about how I should go about making sure that all of this, because I've got an intersection of top and back, center block, both sides that are bent laminations. They're all intersecting right here, or not intersecting, but they're all at play right here. They're all factors right here. And they're all giving me, I need to get them all flush somehow. Yeah, I need to work out a way to flush this up. Okay. Because doing it by hand is not coming out as flat as I need it to be. Alright, this is probably the weirdest of the concoctions I've managed to come up with so far, but well, I'm going to hold it up and then I'm going to use it and then I'll pull it apart and show you. This is what we've got. A block of wood with a disc stuck to it with a bolt and a handle, and underneath there is some 80 grit sandpaper. The idea, I hope, is that the mortise is square and flat and true, and it's the thing I need to reference. So I will just put it in there and then rub the sandpaper around. I'm not sure the handle's that useful, but it's there in case it is. And then it's just a matter of sanding away until it stops. Going a little deeper, and just going until everything is straight. And I've got a 32nd of an inch down there to go, so we just keep on going. Okay. Well, the good side, I've got a circular sanding marks where it went, so that's good. So now we're definitely flush. I like it. I certainly do. Okay, so that was an interesting way to fix things, but it definitely fixed it. So now we can check out our neck fit a little better, because I had been chasing two things and it was not working well. Okay, so that does mean we're going to want to take a little off of this side. We're actually going to have to take a little off of both sides, and possibly some off the end because things have shortened a bit. Okay. So now most of our work can be concentrated on this area. Okay, I think I got the neck close enough. I've got to do the ramp on the body for the mortise, and it's about 3/64 down of a drop here. So I'm gonna start with about a 32nd, and it's digging in because the grain's going the wrong way. So I'm gonna have to come at it from this way with the bevel down. Yeah, that's digging in too fast. So we're going to have to find a way to improvise this. Yeah, that's not good. The grain is going completely the wrong direction for this ramping up. I may have made some pretty bad damage there. I might have to fix. Yeah, I think the rasp might be the secret weapon here. As soon as I find where I set the dang thing. Yeah, this might be. Maybe when I've done my 100th guitar, I'll be able to set one of these things in 5 minutes, but until then, okay. So I've got my little pattern maker square. If you guys have never seen it, it's called a die maker's or pattern maker square. It's got two knobs on it. This knob tightens it like a normal combination square. This knob pushes a screw up and lets you tilt it. You can see it's definitely not square, right? It's tilted at 4 degrees, which is what we're aiming for on this neck. Holy shit. Nailed it. Yeah. I'll be damned. Okay, just a little high on one side. Oh, there was some schmutz there. Let's see if I... Yeah, it's a little bit high yet, right here. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, nailed. Cool. All right then. I'll take it. So because I had that little split grain where I did, I'm going to pop it so that it's not a feather edge ready to just break off on it for me here. Yeah, because it dug in pretty good there. There we go. Now it's clear, and the glue that goes in there will now will definitely make that seat better. And I'm going to try to get up a little, try to extend this 4 degrees a bit further in. The ramp is ending a little sooner, so I'm just trying to lower the whole thing overall. doing? Damn good. I'm amazed. Yes, ma'am. Well done. I'm just going to brush out the debris. So, by all accounts, this this neck ought to be sitting at the right angle now. I got to pop it out of the vise clamping this here. Alright. No, you gotta stay there. Okay, so that is now seated the way it should be. It means a couple of things. First, I'm going to make this thing parallel. And I just still got a little bit left to it. Good. So I'm going to make this face is now going to get parallel, like it should have been all along. I forgot to hit record again, sorry. All you missed was I made a shim about, oh hell, I don't even know what size, how thick that is. It's thin, it's like less than a 16th. And I've glued it onto the back of the tenon because it's a little bit low, and I think this shim is about all I really need to recover that bit, and it'll push things out. Besides that, I think we're really close. The fit on the body was really close here. It was a little high in a couple of spots here because of a curve, and this side was really good. So I think my belief is if I can do the little relief cuts on this, those seams will join up really nicely. So I'm going to try that and see if we can't make this thing look good. But when that glue's dry, we'll finesse the next fit just a little bit more. It was a pretty good weekend. I managed to get the truss rod slot routed in the neck and fitted. I got it ready to go in. I also got the neck cut out roughly, rough shaped neck profile. And I also worked out the tenon for the set neck. The neck is nearly set in the body. It's nearly ready to go into the body. I got it ramped, and the tilt I think should be fine. I've got a shim in there now, and it'll pull the fretboard back up or pull the neck out more so that the fretboard will lay flat where it's supposed to. So yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. We got the finicky stuff started. The finicky stuff is going to be sort of boring and slow, and I apologize. I'll try to dance like a monkey. I will not dance like a monkey. How do monkeys dance? But I appreciate everybody who's sticking with me. I've been getting a ton of really good feedback, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to build this guitar because of my connection to Eric's music, because it means that much to me. The fact that I'm videoing it and posting it on YouTube for the rest of the world, I guess the world, to see my small little world, is just sort of, I'm coming out to the shop and hitting record. And then I post whatever happens. Sometimes I'll get a little crazy with the editing, sometimes not. Sometimes I'm lazy. But the response from you guys has been surprising. I didn't expect it. It's really cool. You guys are really encouraging, and I appreciate that. But this project's going to get done one way or the other because it means too much to me. Just so happens, you'll get to watch it. So bear with me. I think this makes part 20. I told you up front it was going to be a long one. It's 20 and I still got a guitar in multiple pieces. So it's going to be a little bit more. I think part 10 posted yesterday, and I've been getting some really good feedback, and I appreciate that. So thank you all. All right, I'm done for the day. I'm calling it. So it was a pretty good weekend. I managed to get, what did I get? I got the, tired. It was a pretty good weekend. I got the, boop! It was a pretty good weekend. I managed to get the neck rough shape. I will not dance like a monkey. No. Boop! 1, 2, 3. Ah! How do monkeys dance? What does that look like? Time to Google that. Challenge. Find me videos of monkeys dancing.